Good. All right, welcome everyone once again to the Ads Targeting Class Cohort 2. Now, let me quickly say this before we move on. I want to beg you, immediately after this class, I'm going to post the link for people to sign up for Cohort 3. Yes, Cohort 3 registration is already on, and I need you to bring just one person. If you know that this class was impactful to you, just bring one person. That's all I'm asking you to do. I can literally kneel down. My chair is here. Just one person is all I need you to bring for this class, right? For this cohort 3. If you really enjoyed this class and it blessed you a lot and impacted you a lot, one person is just all I ask. Share with one person and ensure that one person joins cohort 3. We're trying to do cohort 3 because a lot of people got into my DM yesterday, late night yesterday, and say, oh, can I still pay? Can I still pay? After seeing all the reviews. But I turned them down and said, okay, registration for cohort 3 has started already. So let's get in. Somebody say, if I bring one person, will you answer my question? I will not answer your question. So keep your question. I don't know what your question is. Okay. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Okay. So let's get started to tonight's session. Let me please turn off the chat. Okay. You said 3 different ads, but you mentioned only 2. I'm going to mention the remaining, but you mentioned only 1. I mentioned only 1, not 2. I'm going to talk about the remaining 2 today. Okay? Okay. All right. So now, first thing we're going to be talking about tonight is targeting. And I'm going to be sharing a lot of things about targeting that a lot of people have realized or have not realized, or they are struggling with. Now, you see, targeting is one of the best things that you can do. Targeting is easy. It's not hard. I usually don't believe that there's anything that is hard. That's me naturally. So what I want to say is, now, when you think about targeting, you think about this statement that a lot of people say, that if you want to catch a monkey, you behave like a monkey, or you have what the monkey wants, right? Now, every ad that you run, targeting plays about 30% or 40% of the ad result. What do I mean? That if your targeting is correct, if you have good content with a good targeting, you will get results. Now, the mistake a lot of people make with their targeting is that they think outside their niche when it comes to targeting. Now, your first point of call when you are targeting for any ad that you're running is your niche, your industry. So when you are targeting, the first thing you need to think about is, what is my niche? If I'm selling tape rule, we're going back to our tape rule again. If I'm selling tape rule, the first thing that comes to mind is, what exactly, or who are the people that naturally would be asking for this tape rule? I don't care that there are other people that might need it, right? For example, somebody says, oh, I'm selling Gary. Everybody drinks Gary. No, that is not true. Everybody does not drink Gary. Matter of fact is that everybody does not even like Gary. So you need to understand that, that you feel that your product is a product that is an essential does not mean that there are people that this product is actually made for. There are people that every product or every service is made for, that naturally these people, when they see you advertise these products, they jump on it. So when you are trying to run ads for those products, you first of all consider the people that need this product, right? Before I start talking about, this tape reel is meant for somebody at home or something, I need to first of all look at the people that naturally will need this product and put it in front of them. So because the mistake a lot of us make is that we target wrong and our ads appear in the faces of people who do not care about our products. Have you ever visited somebody that was not expecting you to visit? The person will just be acting all awkward. Why? Because they were not expecting you. They did not want to see you. They did not invite you. So that's why you don't go to places you are not invited. Your ads must not show up in places where they do not care about the product. So who are the people that should care about your products? First of all, you need to ask yourself, who is my ideal customer? Right? There's something called the customer avatar. The customer is called an ideal customer. My ideal customer must have certain things. They must have certain features, certain characteristics that make them up. So when I'm running my ads, one of the first thing before I even talk about ads, is that I must know my ideal customer. For example, if you wake me up and you ask me, Beasley, who are your ideal customers? I know them. Number one, I know my ideal customers are women, majorly women. If I take a check on how many women are on this group, you will see that we have a strong 80% to 20% share of men and women. That because women that naturally are the people that I speak with, or I speak to, or my business speak to the most. That does not mean that I don't have men that are in my classes or in my programs, but majority are women. So it will be foolish of me to run ad and now start to target men. None of my ads target men. But do I have men in my classes? Yes, but none of my ads target men. Because some of us sell products that you feel like, oh, yes, my product is for men can buy it for their wives too. They can buy. No. Who are the natural people that have interest in your product? You can't be selling wigs that are meant for women and you're targeting men because you feel that men will buy it for their women. Yes, that happens, but that is the minority, not your majority. And when you run ads, you need to focus on the majority. You need to run ads based on your insights. Run ads based on your current data. So what is your current data? Who are the people that your business attends to currently? So number one, my business speaks to women. Number two, what type of women? Oh, 9 to 5 or stay-at-home moms. What type? These are some of the customer avatar or the customer characteristics that you need to pen down. So pen them down. All right. So when we talk about targeting, there are majorly 4 types, but I'll break them into 3. There are majorly 4, but of course we can say 3 or 4, but let's say 4 for this class. Okay. For every of the classes I've taught 4 different types of targeting. What are the 4 different types of targeting? Number 1 is your demographic targeting. Please write that down. Your demographic targeting. What is demographic targeting? Your demographic targeting talks about targeting people based on a few information. I'm going to mention those information. Something called demograph. What is demograph? If you've ever been in a geography class, you must have heard the word demograph or demography. What does it mean? You are targeting people based on their age range, their gender, their location. Let me take that again. Demographic targeting or demographic targeting is a targeting that is based on age range, gender, and location. So when you are running your ads, you need to ask yourself, who are the people? What is the age range of the people that buy from us the most? Remember that I said that you cannot run ads outside of your current data. The current data of your business, you cannot run ads outside it. Okay? So the question is, who are the people what is their age range? Those people that should buy from me, those people that are buying from me, what is the majority of their age range? And for most businesses in Nigeria, listen to me, for most businesses in Nigeria, their age range is between 22 and 50. For some businesses, they go ahead to 65, but the majority of people that will buy from you will be 22 to 50. Now, if you want to be a bit more precise, you can now say 25 to 45, but most businesses in Nigeria have an audience of 22 to 50. Okay? So that's one part. Now, if you decide to run your ad to 18 to 65 because you feel like, oh, I attend to everybody, you will see that the majority of people that respond to your ad, I'll show you from the result of some of the ads I've done, you will see that the majority of people that responded to that ad is between that age range I mentioned. Okay? Now, the next thing is gender. Like I've said before, what is the prevailing gender for your business? Some businesses are gender biased, meaning that they are restricted to one gender and one gender alone. For example, Olami Couture, I don't know if he makes clothes for only women, but I know that it makes clothes for mostly men. So if he wants to run ads, his ad will focus on men alone because it makes clothes for only men, from what I've seen. Even though there are women that they might make clothes for, but the majority is men. So when you run ads, you don't focus on women in that case. I hope you're following me tonight. I hope you're following me tonight. So it's important that you know the gender that is prevalent in your... Now, if you check my Instagram page, I did one post long time ago about how to use your insights. When you go on your Instagram insights, you will see the people that you are currently serving based on what your Instagram insight is telling you. Most of the time, that is what you should follow. Okay? Based on time, that is what you should follow. All right? Now, let's talk about the other type of, the other characteristics of demographic targeting is location. I think I mentioned this yesterday when we were talking. I said that for a lot of people, you cannot target just any location. You cannot say, oh, because I live in Lagos, most of my customers come from Lagos. Sometimes most of your customers come from Abuja and you're in Lagos. So what that means is that if you are choosing locations, Lagos and Abuja, of course, Lagos because you live in Lagos, Abuja because that's where you get most of your customers from. So when you run your ads, it is not time for you to start doing experiments on other locations. Focus on the locations where you currently serve. Because what it means is that when you are currently getting results from a certain location, it means that there is still more people for you in that particular location. You only need to intensify on your ad, and you'll be able to get more people from that particular location. So it's important for you to understand these three things that I've mentioned about demographic targeting. Now, the other type of targeting is the psychographic. I hope you're following me tonight. The other type of targeting is the psychographic targeting. Now, what is the psychographic targeting? Psychographic targeting talks about psychology. So my audience, what is their psychology? What are they interested in? What is their behavior? So when we talk about psychographic targeting, we talk about two things. One, interest. Two, behaviors. So what is their interest? What are they interested in? I gave an example. I said, if you want to catch a monkey, you must behave like a monkey or you must give the monkey banana. So if I am selling coffee, one of the interests that I must look out for is coffee blender. If I'm selling bags, one of the interests I must look out for is fashion accessories. It's bags, shoes. If I'm selling shoes as well. So you understand that your first point of call when you are thinking about interest, which interest should I use, is the product that you sell. Before you think about any other thing outside the industry, before we start talking about somebody who is selling bags, looking at targeting ladies' fashion or anything, we first of all must have targeted everything that has to do with bags. Because the moment we go outside of our industry, I see a lot of rubbish when it comes to interest. Trust me, I said targeting for a lot of people. A lot of people. That is majorly one of the services that I do the most. And when I get to some people's pages, I see the people that they are paid to do targeting for them. I'm not mentioning anybody's name, but I see what they do and I'm like, what nonsense is this? The number one thing you need to understand is that when you are setting targeting, you do not need to pack a lot of targets. You don't need a lot of interest. You don't need a lot of interest. Because what you do when you use a lot of interest is that you confuse the algorithm. You confuse the algorithm when you use a lot of interest that are not in your industry. So it's just like you are sending somebody, you are saying, help me go to Lagos. And then you are telling the person is already on their way to Lagos. You call the person back and say, hello, please, help me go to Abuja now. The person is on their way to Abuja. You say, no, please help me go to Kano. That is what a lot of us are doing with our targeting. That is what a lot of us, majority of us are doing with our targeting. You pack a lot of targeting that are not based on your industry, not based on your niche, not based on your product or your service, and then you expect people to buy from you. It does not work like that. So when you set your target, your interest must not be anything beyond 10. Anything beyond 10 to 15 is too much. In fact, anything beyond 10 to 12 is too much. So you need to keep it at maximum of 12. Because what is important is that there is a formula for picking the right interest. There is a formula. And that formula is that, number one, you must pick interest that has to do with your niche first. So out of 12, I can decide to pick 6 interests that has to do with my niche. my product, then I can now complement it with interest that has to do with luxury. What do I mean? Interest that has to do with luxury, interest that has to do with lifestyle, because you want to ensure that the people that have this interest also have the capacity to be able to pay. So how do you put that balance? Is that you put some interest that has to do with your product or your niche, and then you put another set of interest that has to do with luxury lifestyle. So what does that mean? There are interests that has to do with luxury. I'll show you all these things practically. And I'll show you all these strategies on how you can pick the right interest for your product. These things are very easy to do, but you need to follow the formula. It is important. Tonight, what I'm doing is I'm giving you the cheat code. When I give you the cheat code, use it the way I have given it to you. That's how it works. So it is important for you to ensure that your interest, your point of call first, when you are targeting, is your niche, your product, your service, what you do first. Okay? So once you have done that, now the other part is behaviors. What are the behaviors of these people? Are they people that shop frequently? Are they frequently engaged shoppers? Are they people that use a type of smartphone? All these things need to be considered. There are different or diverse ways to target. You can target people based on, yesterday we did an ad, and that ad, we did not use any interest whatsoever. We didn't use any interest. And I can tell you that that ad is going to give you good results if you do it well. Why? Because we've specified the kind of people we want. We don't always have to use our interest. Okay? So I've talked about two different targeting. I've talked about demographics and I've talked about psychographics. Now, let's talk about another type of targeting that is called custom targeting or custom audience. It's called custom targeting or custom audience. What does it mean? I hope you're following me, you're taking notes. What does it mean? Custom targeting is a type of targeting, just as the word is, it is customized. So it's a type of targeting that you create by yourself. You create custom targeting by yourself. Custom audience is created by yourself. Why? How? The custom audience is created from a source. Okay? So, for example, if I want to make a custom audience, I have a source from where that custom audience is going to be made from. So there's always a source for your custom audience. Your custom audience does not stand on its own. So when you are creating your audience, your custom audience, you create it from a source. Now, what are the sources? Number one source is that you can create your custom audience from people who already follow you. Now, what makes your custom audience work is that your custom audience or custom targeting are people who already know you, they like you, and they trust you. Now, you see the demographics targeting, the psychographics targeting. These are new people. These are cold audiences. They are cold leads. They don't know you. It's the first time they are seeing your page. So sometimes for conversion to happen, it might be a bit hard. But if you do it well, you still get conversion. But these people are cold audiences. Your custom audience are your warm audiences and your hot audiences. Your custom audience are your warm audiences and your hot audiences because they already know you. They like you and they trust you. So like I was saying, your custom audience is created from, number one, people that already follow you, either on Instagram or on Facebook or your Facebook page, right? They follow you, they liked your post, they've saved your post, they commented on your post, they visited your profile, they follow you. All those people can be targeted. You can create an audience out of all these people and you can show them your ads. The other type of source is an email list. So if you have an email list, let's say you have an email of 1,000 people, or you have like 1,000 emails, you can upload that email and you can target everybody in that email list. Have you ever wondered how platforms like MTN, how they've been able to see? Have you ever seen ads from MTN? If you don't have an MTN SIM, most likely you might not see an ad from them. But if you've seen an ad from them and you have their SIM, most of the time, for example, I use Smile. Like I use this Smile Wi-Fi. I used to use it one time. Now, I used to see their ads on Instagram. Why? Because they have the phone number that is inside that SIM. that is inside that device. So that phone number is what they have uploaded to an email list. And then they upload that phone number to the ads manager, and they are able to send me ads because they have my phone number. So a lot of us, you have phone numbers of your customers. You have a lot of them. You've been compiling them. This is the time to make use of these people, or make use of these phone numbers. All right. Another source that you can create or you can use as your custom audience is people that watch your video. So when we say, sometimes we say, create videos, put videos online, let people, do all these things. We keep saying it. But a lot of people think that we don't know what we're saying. You say you are shy. You cannot shake bomb bomb. Or you cannot do this one. Nobody is saying you shake bomb bomb. If you can do it, do it. If you cannot do it, find something else to do. Why? Because the people that watch your video, you can create an audience out of all these people. You can create an audience out of the people that watch your videos, and you can send your ads to them. If somebody can watch 10 seconds of your video, that person is a potential customer. That person likes you. 10 seconds of your video, because the average attention span has dropped from what it was about 7 seconds to less than 7 seconds. About 3 seconds is the average span. The average attention span of any human. So if somebody can give you 10 seconds and watch your video for 10 seconds, they are a potential customer. So you can create an audience out of these people and send them your ad. So these are the sources that you can currently use, right? There are other sources for people who have websites and all those things, and you have pixels installed on your website. You can actually use these other sources. Okay, so these are some of the things that I want to expose you to today. I'm going to show you all these things, how to do all these things. I'm not just saying them, but I'm showing you how to do them. Okay, so the final type of targeting, the final one, is called the lookalike targeting or the lookalike audience. The lookalike targeting or the lookalike audience. Now, when I teach lookalike, I always like to use this marker that I have. They're the same marker. They have the same color, right? Now, let me give you this example. What is the lookalike? The custom audience, let's say this is my custom audience. So what the lookalike does is that the lookalike is just like the name is, the lookalike is a clone or a copy of my custom audience. So this is my lookalike, this is my custom audience. They look alike. They are the same. So my custom audience and my lookalike audience are the same profile. They have the same profile, but they are different people. You know how you see twins and you say that, oh, they look alike, or you see twins, they have the same looks, all these identical twins. But have you looked out to see that their behavior is different? There is no two twins that have the same behavior. One is usually reserved, the other is usually a rascal. By people to use that word. So you see, they are the same people that look alike, but they are different. So my custom audience looks like my lookalike audience, looks like my custom audience, but they are not necessarily the same people. They have the same behavior, they have the same, but they are different people entirely. They have the same age range, because twins have the same age, they might be the same gender, they might be everything, but they are different people. So this is what makes the lookalike audience very interesting. Now, out of these 4 audiences that I've mentioned, the most effective of these 4 audiences, pay attention, the most effective of these 4 audiences is the custom and lookalike audience. The custom and lookalike audience is the most effective of these 4 audiences. Can somebody, let me turn on the chat. Can somebody tell me, I want to know how brilliant my students are. Can somebody tell me why you think that the custom audience and the lookalike audience is the best audience? Why do you think that? I've mentioned it while I was explaining. Let me see if people are following me. Why do you think the custom audience and the lookalike audience are the best set of audiences? I'm waiting for responses. Why do you think they are? Good. Somebody said warm and hot. Because they are similar. Because they already know and follow you. They are warm and hot audiences. Exactly. So these people are people that already know you. So, they've seen your post before. They've seen your page before. They are not alien to your page. So when they see your ad, they are willing to buy. So you see, when you focus on these two audiences, you can get a lot. But if you pay attention to what I was explaining, let me turn off the chat. If you pay attention to what I was explaining, you will realize that I said that the custom and lookalike audience, they are created from a source, especially the custom audience. The custom audience is created from a source. So the size of your custom audience depends on the size of your source. The size of your custom audience depends on the size of your source. So in this case, what is your source? If your source is your Instagram page, the size of your Instagram page determines the size of your custom audience. What am I saying exactly? If you have less than 1,000 followers, it might be a difficult thing to get a large size of custom audience. I'm not saying it might be impossible. It can still be possible if you have a good number of page, you have a good number of profile visits. You have a good number of profile visits, people that visit your profile, because you know that sometimes your profile visits can be larger than your followers. Not sometimes, most of the time. Your profile visit can be larger than your followers. So if you have a low below 1,000 followers, you should still create your custom audience and use them based on people that visit your profile. Okay, so these are the different types of custom, or the different types of audiences. Okay, so now I want to dive straight into it and then now start showing us how to create these audiences. But I'm going to do now. Remember that yesterday I said that there are 3 ads. Can somebody remind me? Let me turn on the chat again. Can somebody remind me the 3 ads that I said that are important that you must create as a business owner? The 3 ads. What we talked about, 1 yesterday, visibility. What are the remaining 2? Visibility, sales, correct. Engagement is not one of them. Testimonial is not one of them. They are just visibility, sales, and retargeting. Now, let me explain. Let me turn off the chat again. Targeting is not there, retargeting. There are 3: visibility, sales, and retargeting. Now, retargeting is basically using custom audience and lookalike audience. Retargeting is what? Basically using your custom audience and your lookalike audience. That is retargeting. It's simple. I'm going to show us how to create it. But I want to first of all show us how to create sales ads. Now, I'm going to be using 1 stone to kill 2 birds. While I'm showing you how to create the sales ad, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to create this interest. We're going to use interest today. We're going to use the interest today. I'm going to show you how to pick your interest, right? Then when I'm showing you how to create the retargeting ads, I'm going to show you how to create the custom audience and the lookalike audience. Please follow me carefully. Let's go. So let me share my screen. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen now, so everybody can see my screen. Okay, so let's go to our So let's reload this. Please just follow me carefully. Okay, so we're going to reload this. This is our own page. You know, this is our own page. Metal, I'm sure we are not new to this again. So now we want to run ad. So we're going to the ads manager. Let's close this. This was what we did yesterday. So let's close this one. Okay, so we want to create a sales ad. We want to create what? A sales ad. Now, okay, we want to create a sales ad. Sorry, give me a minute. I'm trying to. Okay, so we want to create a sales ad. So let's go. Let's create our sales ad. Now, when you create sales ad, there are 2 objectives that you can use for sales ads. I will show you the 2 objectives, just like yesterday. There are 2 objectives that you can use for sales ads, I will show you these two objectives. Now, let's go so that we can meet up with our time tonight. Okay, sales ads, go. So create. So once we click create, we are going to come to engagement. Engagement is the first one I'm going to show you. Yesterday, do you remember that we used engagement to create visibility ad? Today, again, we are using engagement to create sales ad. Let me show you how it works. So once we click engagement, we click continue. Then remember when I told you yesterday that you should always choose manual engagement campaign. Don't forget that. Then you click again, continue. Okay, so now we are in the first stage. Remember that we have 3 stages. Every time we create our ad, don't forget, there are 3 stages. And the campaign stage, ad set stage, ad stage. Campaign stage, ad set stage, ad stage. These 3 stages are what you pass through when you create your ad. You remember from yesterday. Now, what we are going to do is, in this first stage, we're going to just name our campaign. Let's call it sales ad cohort 2. Okay, sales ad cohort 2 campaign. That is our campaign name. Once we set the campaign name, we're not doing anything else, just to set the name, and then we click next. Okay, so click next. Now, once you click next, we are in the ad set stage or the ad set level. First thing we're going to do again is to change the name. We call it sales cohort 2 ad set. Okay, sales cohort 2 ad set, or let's call it sales ad cohort 2 ad set. Okay, any name, it does not matter. Okay, so now when we get to conversion, if you remember yesterday when we were running the ads for engagement yesterday, I said that the ad for engagement, you are going to use something called, I mentioned it yesterday, that you are going to use something called, where is it now? On your ad. You're going to use something called on your ad. That was yesterday, right? But today we are using something called messaging apps. Messaging apps is what you are using for this particular ad that we want to run. The conversion location is messaging apps. Because let me explain why. When you are running sales ad, sales ad is different from your visibility ad, right? Let me explain a few things. Sales ad is different from visibility ad. When you run sales ad, what you want to generate is you want people to come to you. You want more conversations. You want what? More conversations. More conversation is what will lead to sales. When people come to your DM, they ask, make inquiries, that is what will lead to sales. So when we run sales ads, we want people to be able to message us. That's why we are using messaging apps. Now, let me also say that when you run sales ads are one of the most expensive ads that you can ever run. One of the most expensive. Why? Because you are asking people to come and message you. It's different from when you are saying people should just watch a video or just doing engagement, doing visibility. This is a sales ad. So let's go. We choose messaging apps right here. Then the ad type is click to message. Click to message. That's the ad type. Then we scroll down, right? Now they are asking us, of course, you choose your Facebook page. Then what are the messaging apps? So we need to choose at least one destination. They say choose at least one destination where you are available to chat. Let me say this right here and right now. The 2 destinations that I want you to use, or the destinations that I want you to always use, is Instagram and WhatsApp. But I do not advise you to use them at the same time. Just like yesterday, I was explaining to you that when you send your advert to Facebook, a Facebook-based platform and an Instagram platform at the same time, you would get the advert tilting towards that Facebook platform more. So please, when you are running this, your ad, your messaging, the app, the platform you should send people to should be only just use one at a time. If you are using WhatsApp, use WhatsApp alone. If you are using Instagram DM, use Instagram DM alone. By the way, let me say this right here, right now, that WhatsApp is cheaper than Instagram DM. If you send people to your Instagram DM, it is a bit more expensive. When I say a bit more expensive, your cost per messaging will be expensive, will be somewhere around above 500 naira. But in some cases, it can be below 500 to about 300 naira. But you will never see it go below that. But for WhatsApp, you can be running ads to WhatsApp and you can be paying as low as sometimes 50 naira, sometimes 70 naira. It is that cheap on WhatsApp, right? Naturally, the messaging, this sales ad naturally is expensive. So don't, when you see, sometimes you see that you are spending 700 naira and people are coming to your Instagram, what is the quality of the people coming? As long as these people are coming and they are buying, it justifies that amount you are paying. But when you see that people are messaging, but they're not buying anything, they're making inquiries, but it is positive. Sometimes people come to you and they make stupid inquiries, but if somebody makes an inquiry that is promising, you know that, yes, my ad is doing well. Okay, so let's move on. So for this, I'm going to choose Instagram. I'm going to turn off the Messenger. I don't use Messenger. I will use only Instagram. Now, once you have done this, scroll down. Your performance goal is to maximize number of conversations. Conversations is what you want. You don't want people to just click your link and go away. No, you want to maximize number of conversations. Follow me. Now, when you get to this bid control, just like yesterday, you leave it blank. Now, your budget, let me say this. The budget that you should use for your adverts for sales should be nothing less than 10,000 naira daily. Now, this is depending on products. If you sell products that are very expensive, right? Let me explain. If you sell products that are very expensive, let's say your products are 50,000 naira and above, you should not spend less than 10,000 naira. But if your products are lesser than, they are like under 50,000, maybe 40,000 up to about 10,000, 5,000, you can spend less than 10,000 naira. You can spend anywhere around 7,000 to 8,000 naira. But if your products are well above 50,000, you need to start increasing it. If your product is between 50,000 to about 100,000, you can still spend 10,000 naira daily. But when it's crossing above that, you need to increase it again to about 15,000 to about 20,000 naira daily, depending on what you can afford. But the starting point for most people, let it be around 8,000 to about 10,000 daily budget for sales ad. Like I said, it is the most expensive ad that you can run. So we put it at 10,000 naira, and then, of course, remember how we do this, set an end date. Now, what is the duration I should run my sales adverts for? I know some people will have that question. How long should my sales advert be? Now, you know that we said that visibility advert should be at least a month. For your sales advert, you don't need it to be a month. You can run your sales advert for at least 2 weeks. At least 2 weeks. Not 1 week, at least 2 weeks. 14 days or 15 days is enough for your sales advert. You know that because obviously you always don't have, of course, there are people that run sales adverts for a month, 2 months, no problem. But let me just say that the least you can do for sales advert is 2 weeks, so that your advert can have enough time to generate results for you. I see people say, I want to run 4 days advert. Let me just put the money and that's, no, it does not work like that. It does not work like that. So set this advert for 2 weeks. That will be, this is 1 week, this is 2 weeks. So my advert is going to end on the 22nd of June. That is 2 weeks. Okay, so I've set that there like that. That's the first part. So let's move to the next thing. Of course, you know about budget scheduling. I thought about it yesterday, so I'm not touching it again. Now, let's go to audience control. Audience controls. Now, first thing, please pay attention closely to this point. Pay attention closely. I'm going to be exposing you to some things here. Now, yesterday, I just said you should put your locations. Lagos, right? I said 3 locations at least, okay? Abuja, right? Port Harcourt. This was what I taught you yesterday. Just type in the locations like this was what I taught you yesterday. But let me teach you something else today. something else that is very, very impactful. It is called drop pin. It is called what? Drop pin. Drop pin. You can see it here. Drop pin. Now, how do you use drop pin? I've selected Lagos now, right? Now, you can see on this map here, you can see that there is a plus sign and a minus sign. Plus for zoom in, minus for zoom out. So now, let us zoom in into Lagos. Let's drag it. If you hold down your mouse, you drag it. Zoom into Lagos. Now, can you see that as we are zooming in, it is showing us more places in Lagos? Do you know that you can actually use this drop pin to target places within Lagos where you want your advert to be sent to? Now, let me look for somewhere like, this is Ekpe now, right? This is Ekpe. I don't want Ekpe. Let's look for somewhere like Lekki, okay? Let's look for somewhere like Lekki. Now, you can see Lekki here. Right here, you can see Lekki here. If I keep zooming into Lekki, I will be able to see other places. Okay, this is Lekki. Now, this is Lekki phase 2. This is Lekki phase 1, Victoria Island, all here. Do you know that instead of targeting just Lagos as a whole, I can drop my pin. I will click drop pin, and I will drop my pin on Lekki phase 1. So my target has changed to Lekki phase 1. Now, I can zoom in again, click the plus, click it. Lekki phase 1 is here. I can click drop pin again and drop my pin on Lekki phase 2. So my advert is targeting Lekki phase 1, Lekki phase 2. Now, let me look for more places. Let's say I want to now target Victoria Island or Ikoyi. Let's click drop pin, drop the pin right on Ikoyi. So what that means is that I'm targeting these 3 places right now. Now, do you know that based on what we have here, these circles are overlapping themselves, right? So it actually means that if I remove this last one we just did, right, and I zoom in, can you see that based on this circle, the shape of this circle, it means that my advert is covering all these places. This Tinubu, Makoko, Shomolu, Victoria Island, Lekki phase 1, Kirikiri. Why would they target Kirikiri? Lekki phase 2. Check all these places, Bagada, all these places. My advert will get to all those places because the circle is covering all those places already. So there's no need for me to still precisely target Victoria Island. My advert is still going to cover that area. Now, do you know that for those outside Nigeria, you can do the same thing? The same thing, but you must know the map very well to be able to do what you are doing. If you don't know the map of your location, it might be tough for you to do this. Okay, so if I wanted to go to, do you know I can do this for another state? Now let me use the map. This is Lagos, Abi. So let me zoom out. I will now look for, I want to still look for places in Nigeria. Okay, if we go above Lagos, we will start seeing places like Shagamu, Abeokuta. So now, and then above Abeokuta, you see Ibadan. Now, if I zoom in inside Ibadan, right, I can target somewhere like Akobo. Akobo is a place where we have a lot of rich people in Ibadan, right? I mean, it's a good place where people are now starting to be in. So I can drop my pin on Akobo. I'm targeting Akobo in Ibadan. Are you trying to see what I'm doing? Can you see all the places where this my map is covering will be targeted in Ibadan? Now, let's say I want to do the same thing for other cities in Nigeria. I can do this for other small cities that I know that are well populated with people that can pay for my items. I can do this for them. So, and when you are doing something like this, you can do as many as long as your estimated audience is not over 7, it's not going too broad. You can do as many as possible. Unlike when you put states where you have to just precisely choose 3 states. But this one, because you are precisely choosing places in those cities, in those states, you can do more than, you can do enough because of your estimated audience is still, like, look at it now. My estimated audience is still around 1.1 million. So I can still do more. But I want to beg you, do not mix it. Do not mix countries together. No. If you are doing this for Europe, do it for Europe. If you are doing this for Canada, do it for Canada. If you are doing this for Nigeria, do it for Nigeria. If you are doing this for states in Ghana, do it for your places in Ghana. So same thing, if those that are doing, I'm just showing us an example, don't mix it. If you are to do any other country, let me zoom out and go to another country. Let's say I want to go to a country like Accra, okay? So let's go to a country like Ghana. So if I zoom in, can you see I'm starting to see more places in Accra? So I'm seeing a lot of places in Accra that I can just drop my pin on. Let's look for, let's see if we can find more places. Good. I'm seeing more places now that I know. I know East Legon. So you can drop your pin on East Legon, for example, if that is where you have prospects in. So this is how to use the drop pin. Now, this drop pin is a lot precise. That's why I like it. It is precise on the places you want. For example, if you have a physical store, this is the type of ad you should run when you want people to visit your store. So if I had a physical store, let me close everything now. Let me close everything, right? So if I have a physical store, let's say my store is in Lekki. So what I'm going to do is, let's say my store is in Lekki Phase 1. So I'm going to now type Lagos, okay? I'll type Lagos. Then once the map is on Lagos, I'll zoom in and then zoom into Lekki Phase 1 and drop my, I can even zoom in further to look for my street, but that might be too precise, right? You can actually zoom in more and more, and you will see a lot of streets. So let's say your shop is around Admiralty Way. So I can drop my pin on Admiralty Way, right? I drop my pin around Admiralty Way, and then I target a certain radius of Admiralty Way. So I say like anybody that is living around 5 or 10, let's say 10, around 10, 20 kilometers of Admiralty Way. So let's say anybody living around 20 kilometers of Admiralty Way, I want to target you. That is for somebody who has, and that is the only thing I'm going to use for my ad. I don't even need to use interest or anything. I will still get good results. For those people who are complaining, when I sell to people outside my country, people outside my state, there's delivery problem. There's this one. You don't need any, like, this is the good place to start. If you really want to sell to people around your locality, your area, this is how to do it. This works a lot. Why? Because those people that you are trying to sell to, when they see that you live around them, they can easily ask for them to come and pick up. They can pick up at a location. And that way, they trust you even more. You can get repeated buyers because they are close to you. Okay? I hope you are learning something tonight. Let me turn on the chat. I hope you are learning something. If you are learning something tonight, just ginger me with something in the comment section. Come on. Come on. Thank you. I'm seeing the ginger, the fire, the love. Thank you. Great. Awesome. Excellent. You guys are too good. You guys are too good. Okay, so let's move on. Let's turn off the chat again. Okay, now, let me say that after we have done this, now the next thing is that, okay, so I'm going to scroll down. So let's just add a few more places that I want to, let me just drop my pin on a few more places. Let's say I want to go to somewhere like Ikeja, right? Drop in. Let's go to somewhere like Ikeja. I want to look for somewhere like Magodo, right? When I was in Lagos, I used to live in Magodo. So I'm going to drop my pin on Magodo. Okay, so I've dropped my pin on Magodo and Lekki, so just to cover mainland and island. So I've done that. Now I'm going to scroll down. Now we have come to audience again. We have come to Advantage Plus audience. I taught this intensively yesterday. I'm not going to go over it again, but I want to teach us how to use the interest targeting. Whichever one you are using, whether you are switching to the original audience option or you are using the Advantage audience. Let's use the Advantage audience. So we're going to set our age range, okay? Set our age range. We're going to set it to, for this one, let's say 25 to 45, okay? So we're setting an age range of 25 to 45, okay? Now, let's set our gender to be women. Okay, can you see that the estimated audience is dropping, right? Is dropping, and that is because of I mean that we're specifying on the audience we want. So now, when we get to detailed targeting, I'm going to use a business as an example. I'm going to use any business. Don't worry, it's the same methodology. It's the same method. Nothing changes. Now, when I was talking about interest, psychographic, and I said there are two: interest and behavior. Now, what are the interests that you can use? Now, when you want to target for your business, I said the first point of call is your niche. So if you are somebody that sells, let's say thrift, for example, somebody who sells thrift clothes for women, right? Thrift clothes for women. So the first thing is that you have to look out for people that have interest in thrift items. So now let's first of all type thrift as our interest, because that is our niche. That is what we do. So we type thrift. I didn't type it well. Thrift. So when we type thrift, you see thrift as an interest here. So thrift is the first interest. Now, after we have typed thrift, do you know that if I press suggestions, do you know that Meta is going to give me a lot of suggestions that I can use for my audience? A lot of suggestions. Now, do you know that my own thrift is not only just thrift? Because the type of thrift we are doing has to do with clothes. We have to include clothes-related interest, because what we are selling has to do with clothes. So now I'm going to just pick a few of the audience I have here. So if I'm doing thrift, I'll use, of course, thrift is used good, right? Thrift is vintage clothing, right? Thrift is also, let's calm down. Thrift is also clothing, right? But we want to specify the type of clothing, not just any type of clothing. So I'm not going to pick clothing, okay? Thrift is also discount store. You can target that, okay? Buy one, get one free could also be something, could also be an ideology for thrift. Remember that we've not put clothes. So now I'm going to now go back and type clothes. Now, instead of typing clothes, I can just type female, right? Female dresses or ladies dresses. No, not female. Ladies dresses, right? Or just type dresses. You will see a lot. So let's type dresses. So now we pick ladies dresses. We will now click the suggestion again, because we put in something that has to do with dress. It will now give us more ideas. So I'll pick party dress. I will come down again. I'll pick dresses. I will come down again and pick what other kind of clothes related thing can I pick? Fashion accessories? Not really. I don't want to pick. I will pick boutiques. What else? So now that I picked all these things, now let's go and count. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9. So I have room to add like 4 more. Now, what are the 4 more that I can add? Because I say that there must be a balance between your niche and the luxury or lifestyle, people that can afford. Then I will type luxury. I will pick people that have interest in luxury goods. I will type luxury again. I will pick people that have interest in, let's type luxury again. People that have interest in luxury lifestyle. Now, because this is also thrift and clothes, I can pick something like nightclub. I want all those girls that go to nightclub, you know. So you see that when I'm saying that, you need to think about your audience, your ideal customer. So if your ideal customer are people that, you know, that they are girls that, you know, they go club. So nightclubs, I'm going to target that. So with all this, I am good to continue my advert. Are you seeing what I'm saying? Are you following what I'm doing? So this is how you pick your audience. Now, let me use another type of business as an example. Let me clear all this one. Let me move away from fashion entirely. Let me use another type of business like real estate. Now, let me use a business like real estate. Now, if we're doing real estate, first thing that comes to mind, real estate comes to mind. Now, when we type real estate, we have to look for something that is close to what we want on real estate. Okay, so we can do something like property, right? Real estate industry. We can do something like this. Now, once we do this, the next thing you do is click suggestions. You will see a lot of real estate oriented interest. Number one, property investing, apartment, house, right? First time buyer, right? Are you seeing them? Residential area, right? New house, right? Land and houses, right? Single family detached home. You can see them. You can see them. Okay? Terrace house. You can see them. So you can see all these things that I'm seeing. All this. So this is exactly how you can see penthouse apartment. So these are like all the interest. Then you can now add some luxury things like luxury lifestyle, luxury vehicles. Do you understand? So you can add all these things, luxury vehicle, luxury lifestyle, because you already have piqued your interest. And then you count again. How many are they? So this is how, so the first thing that you need to do for any interest you are targeting, the first thing you need to do is to ask yourself, what is my niche? Type it first. Then you click on suggestions. Suggestions will give you more ideas. Then you can pick through it and say, okay, I think this one is closest to my business. This one is closest to my niche. After you have picked enough, add it with some sugar, some Maggi. Luxury is the Maggi. Add it with some luxury, and that is it. The soup is ready. Are you following me tonight? So this is how to do targeting. Don't let anybody bobo you and say, this one, that one, that one, that one. Now, a lot of people don't know how to pick these things that I've done. And it's okay. But what I've taught you is follow the formula. First thing is your niche. Let's say you sell home appliances, or you sell kitchen appliances. So what we're going to do is just type kitchen, right? Kitchenware, if that's what you sell, right? Kitchen, right? Let's just type kitchen alone. Let's type kitchen alone. Let's see. So we see kitchen here, right? You can see here, kitchen utensils. Let's say that's what you sell. So let's pick kitchen utensils, and then we click suggestion. Can you see all the suggestion? Kitchenware, kitchen aid, cookware and bakeware, cooking, home appliances, frying pan, kitchen knife, cutting board, tableware, recipe, household goods, kitchen stove, pressure cooking, cutlery. Can you see? So if this is what you sell, this is what you should be targeting. Now, because the right thing to do is that when you target, you are targeting people that are actively searching for these things. You're not just targeting people who, now, if, for example, I now want to go and put women, and I'll say women's, let's say I now want to go and pick women's clothing. Let's say I put this thing here. Because I'm targeting women, I put women's clothing. Even though I sell kitchenware, you are now going to be confusing the algorithm, because you are telling the algorithm that I want people that are looking for kitchen utensils, and they're also looking for kitchen women's clothing. Why? Now, I can be looking for kitchen women's clothing, but I don't have interest in kitchen utensils. But if I see your ad, that's why you see some people, they come to your DM, they come and ask how much, and then they will say, okay, I'll get back. They don't need the product. They saw the advert, they were looking for something else, but because you have included them in your interest, they get showed your ad. When they see your ad, they are now coming and, okay, because they are women, of course, because a woman is also going to be interested in kitchen utensils, and of course, going to be interested in clothes. But that is not what they want at that time. It's not on their preference. Your product is not on their preference. So when they see your ad, they see women's clothing. Maybe the person is searching for women's clothing, and person sees kitchen utensil, like one of your products, like, okay, this is nice, so let me check. They check it. You say the price is this. It's okay, I'll get back to you, because it's not on their preference. But if you targeted everything that has to do with kitchen utensils, everything that has to do with what you sell, what you are selling, there's no way you will not make sales, because the people that will be coming to you are the people that are actively searching for these things. That is how interest works. That is exactly how interest works. You see, when we were doing the one for thrift, we targeted people that are going to club, because you know that anybody going to club is looking for clothes to wear. So, and they're looking for affordable ones. So if I target somebody going to club, I will make sales. It makes sense. Compared to what I see on some people's pages, when I go to their page to set targets, I'm wondering who on earth did this for you? And to make the matters worse, those people, they will put their name bagada on it like this to just shame them. Like, why would you set this as targeting and you say you set targeting for somebody? Why? If you don't know something, you say you don't know it. Why would you set targeting for somebody that is selling clothes and you are putting things that has to do with other things that are not even related at all? Somebody is selling clothes, you are helping the person to target food. How do they relate? So this is exactly how to do it and the right way to do it. Like I said, this strategy I've showed you works for any industry that you're doing. I need to save more time. So once we're done with this, I've showed you the targeting. The next thing you do, remember we're still talking about sales ad. The next thing you do is to choose your placement, right? Now, because we are sending people to Instagram, by default, I showed you manual placement. By default, because we are sending people to Instagram, it is only Instagram that will be ticked there. It is fine. So once you have done this, click next, and then you finish up your ad by using an existing post that is already on your page. So you finish up your ad, choose your post. You know how we do this already. Those that were here yesterday know. So you choose your post, click continue, and then your advert will be ready to be published. That is how it works. Your advert will be ready to be published. Easily, you can see it right here. Okay, it's still uploading, but your advert will be ready to publish once you have selected the post to use. It's that simple. Okay, let me unmute. Let me turn on the chat box. I want to see if you understand everything I've done up to this point. If you understand everything I've done up to this point, please just type I understand. If you understand everything I've done. I can't use a school as an example. I'm sorry, I can't use everybody as an example. That's why I gave a prototype of how it should be done. If you are a school, you might not want to be targeting. If you are a school, you can look at anything that has to do with the type of people. Are you private school? People that are interested in private school, people that have interest in what type of school, Montessori, people that have interest in primary school. These are some of the things you can use. I can't mention for everybody, right? I cannot use everybody as an example. It does not work. I would also, yes, for those who are targeting business owners, right? For those who are targeting business owners, I'm going to give an example on that, right? I cannot use everybody as an example. Please let's understand. I'm going to turn off the chat because I just asked whether we understand it is an example, and I can't use everybody as an example. Okay? Chino, yet you don't understand all. You don't understand all except I'm not getting that correctly. Maybe you are saying you understand all except picking your niche interest. I've given the example, and I expect us to be able to be creative. If you want me to spoon feed you with your interest, at the end of the class, I'm going to ask you to pay for that. If you want me to do that, it's not a must. It's not a must, right? It's not a must. It's not a must at all. But this is very simple. Very simple. I'm going to go over it now because of those that have things that have to do with targeting business owners. I'm going to go over that specifically because I remember that can be very tough. That can be very tough, which is why I'm explaining. Now, if you're targeting business owners, one of the interests that you can start with is, of course, business owners. Okay? So it's still the same process. Some of us just want us to be spoon-fed. It's just the same process. Business owners, and then look out for business. Now, let me say this again. I think it came to mind now. Let me say this. When you are picking your target, if you look to the right side of this, my target, can you see employers, behavior, interest, employers, job titles? Can you see them? Please, when you are picking your interest, only pick interest or behavior. Do not pick employers. Do not pick employers or job titles. Only click interest or behaviors, right? So that you are not targeting people that are working in, except if yours is industry-based and you are targeting people that work in a specific industry, that is fine. But if not, please target people that have interest or their behavior is that thing. So business owners now, we're looking for business owners as an interest. Okay, we're looking for business owners as an interest. Let's make it small business, or let's say small business. Okay, so we can see small business here. Now, the next thing for us to do is to click suggestions, and you will see other things. Home-based business, you can target home-based business. You can target entrepreneurship. You can target startup company. You know, all those things are part of business owners that you can target. You can also target freelancers. You can also target sole proprietorship. So like that, you can just pick the ones that are. But let me just clarify that because you are targeting business owners, you must include what you are doing. What product, what service are you rendering? What product are you selling? That is what will determine, right? So you must add the service that you're doing. Now, the best way to target business owners is to use your custom audience and your lookalike audience. Let me say it again. The best way to target business owners, use your custom audience or your lookalike. Why? Because that is the precise one, especially if you already have on your page, business owners are the people that follow you the most. Now, when I run my ads, I don't use interest. I use my custom audience and my lookalike audience because 80% or 90% of the people following me are business owners. So all I had to do was to create my custom audience out of my Instagram page, and I run my ads to my custom audience and my lookalike audience. I don't use, especially because this interest for business owners are not very, the results are not always very great compared to when you use your custom audience. But if you don't have business owners following you the most, don't use the custom audience. You can use this. Then when you build up a lot more business owners on your page, now the best thing to do as an agency is to use content, use educational content to build up your audience, your audience of business owners. That way, when you are creating your custom audience, it is accurate. So you see that when I post every day in the morning, I post every day, I'm teaching something on my page. It's not because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing it because I want to keep attracting business owners. I want to keep attracting more business owners to my page. That way, my custom audience and my lookalike audience is more precise. So when I run ads, when I sell my courses, most of you saw my ad and you bought this course from my ad. I use my custom audience and my lookalike audience majorly. So that is for business owners, right? That is for business owners. Everybody asking me, use this one is the same thing. If it's cake, type cake first. Look for cake interest and then click suggestion. You will see everything that has to do with cake. You can add it, mix some luxury. It's the same thing. Same thing. I don't want to waste our time because we still have a lot to cover. Okay. Okay. Let me look for some other people that weight loss. Now, when it comes to weight loss, you cannot target weight loss. Weight loss is a bit, they've removed a lot of targets. That's another thing you need to know. They removed a lot of targets many months ago. So if you type weight loss, you will not see anything. But this is what you do. I'm currently selling, I have a client, I'm currently managing her ad. She sells weight loss, she sells health products, health-based products. If you're selling anything that has to do with health, these are the targets that you have to use, especially weight loss. Start with healthy, right? Healthy habits. Start with healthy habits and then pick your suggestions. You can now take things like physical fitness, right? Things like physical exercise. Because people that want to lose weight, they are doing exercises. So you want people that have interest in those things. So look for things like jogging, right? Things like aerobics. Then you can now add anything like maybe organic. You can even add treadmill, right? Treadmill. I use things like that when I'm doing anything that has to do with health. Treadmill. So these are some of the things you can do for weight loss. I hope I've answered that person. Gadget. It depends on the type of gadget you are selling. It all depends on the type of gadget. So it depends on the type of gadget you are selling. If it's gadget, you can also type gadgets there. You will see gadget electronics. Click suggestion. What are your gadgets? Pick the gadget. Smart technologies, smart device, gadget geeks, smartphones, mobile phones, electronics, mobile. So you can see all of them there. This thing is very, very, very simple. Gift package. Type gift. Okay. You pick gift. Click on suggestion. Gift shop, gift card, gift wrapping, personalization. You can see it. People that have wedding anniversary, people that have where is it? Flower bouquet. birthday cake, all these things are gift related. You can see, so this thing is very simple. Food stuff. If you are doing food stuff, you have to do something like, what type of food stuff? Let's say, for example, let's start with crayfish. Crayfish is a food stuff. So type crayfish, then click suggestion, right? Then you see different food stuff. There's seafood, shrimp, which other food stuff? Then you can now look at things like, you see gourmet, foodie. Then you can do something like food. You can see it here. If you type food, you will see a lot of things. You can do something like supermarket. Yeah. Supermarket. Yes, that's what I wanted to remember. Supermarket, food retailer. So click suggestion. You see hypermarket. You see, are you seeing them? So you can pick all these things that has to do with what you sell. Grocery outlets. That's part of what you do. So you can pick all those things and then pick, you know, any other thing, luxury that you want to add to it. You can add them. Somebody selling a course. It depends on the type of course you are selling. If you're selling a course, let me also put that. If you're selling a course, what you want to focus on is people that have interest in passive. It depends on what your course is about anyway, but you want to look at people interested in passive income, people interested in making money. If your course has to do with making money, so people interested in making money, click suggestion. People interested in business opportunity, depending on what your course is. Like I'm still saying it, depending on what your course is, that is what will determine what you are picking. Okay, so that is what will determine what you are picking. Okay, so I don't know what your course is about, so it depends on that. Service, social media agency, you have to also look into social media. Okay, social media, you see social media. Let's look for social media marketing. Then you can click suggestions. You can look for content marketing, right? That's what you do, right? Social media. Then you can look, there's something about agency there. Yeah, advertising agency, depending on what you do. Okay, that's for services also. So like a lot of examples. I just covered this just to explain a few things. Okay, just cover a few things. Okay, so let's move on to, so I've been able to show you exactly how to run your ads, your sales ads. Now let's go to I said that there are two different sales ads that you can run, right? The second one is the same thing, exactly the same thing, just slight difference, just the same thing. Let me show you. Now, if you want to create the second one, click on create. You are going to use the sales objective. Sales objective, and then you click continue. Now, once you click continue, you will use the manual sales campaign and then click continue. This one, I'll be a bit faster because we still have one more thing to cover tonight. We still have one more thing to cover tonight, which is the retargeting ad. And that's like the most important I want to show us tonight, okay? So now, when you're doing sales ad, of course, just like we do, we name our campaign at the top. Don't forget, once you have named your campaign, right, the next thing you want to do is click next, go to the ad set level. Now, when you get to the ad set level, you are sending people again to messaging apps. The same thing we did before. Messaging apps is where you're sending people to. Once you have done this, then you can now choose which of the messaging apps, which is what we did before, Instagram, then you follow the same process of what we've done. Same process. That is the only difference is that you are using sales objective. And the reason why we say use sales objective also is because, you know, sales objective is created for sales. So sometimes when you use sales objective because it's created for sales, it also helps your results. So sales objective, or you use engagement. So these are the two objectives you can use, or goals that you can use for sales ad. Okay, so we have just completed sales ad. Okay, so this is sales ad. Now I want to stop my recording now and record again for where is it?